अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणललितान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. So last week we had no class, 10th chapter. Okay. So where are we? We are in 10th chapter. The name of the chapter is The Opulence of Absolute. That means the greatness of the Absolute. We completed up to 11th sloka in this. So here in this chapter we are going to know, we are in the Bhakti Yoga, the 6 chapters in the middle deal with Bhakti Yoga, where we know to develop Bhakti we have to understand the greatness of the person on which we are developing our Bhakti. So this is a middle chapter. 9th and 10th are the middle of the middle. Out of 18, which is the middle chapter? 9th and 10th, the most important chapters. And in 10th chapter, there are 4 slokas, that is 10.8 to 10.11, which are known as Chatuslokena Bhagavad Gita. That means the gist of the Bhagavad Gita is explained in this 4 slokas. If we really understand these 4 slokas, it is almost as good as understanding total Bhagavad Gita. And in the 8th sloka, Krishna says, only intelligent people can understand this. Bhava samanvitaha, that means devotees worship Krishna with bhava, that means with the obligation, with the feeling in the heart, not as a ritual, but as with the feeling in the heart. Only devotees understand this. And we understand that Narayana or Vishnu is the source of material and he is the expansion of Krishna. And in 9th sloka, the symptoms of a pure, how do we know a person is pure devotee is explained. The symptoms are explained. That means the symptoms of pure devotee are, they are very eager to discuss the Krishna Kada with others. And normally when 2 of us or 3 of us sit, we just gossip on various things. That means we gossip on some movies or some neighbors' issues or some politics, things like that. But a devotee, when they talk, they only talk about Krishna. Because on the same Krishna, his greatness is so high, his greatness is so much that you will have one way of understanding it, I'll have a different way of understanding it, the third person will have another way of understanding it. So we express our views, how we understood. And that means then the knowledge of the other people also will get enlightened about Krishna. Different understandings is what is very important. So here normally any Krishna devotee, they never gossip. They talk about the greatness of Krishna, how they are doing their sadhana, how they can improve their sadhana, like that. So here the lifestyle, the lifestyle of a Krishna conscious person is one thing which tells whether he is a devotee or not. That means his lifestyle, his life is spent only for practicing it. One measure is the way we talk, what comes into my mind, and even in the private meetings when we meet somebody, we only talk about Krishna, because we see a lot of happiness in talking about Krishna. That is why you see, when we have children in the house, whatever they do a small thing which is very common, which is very natural also, we keep on sharing with others, saying my brother has done this, my grandson has done this, and things like that. Why? Because we love them so much. So here the most important thing is, never, always remember Krishna and never forget him. That is what is very important. This we can do. There is a difference between always remember Krishna and never forget him. So this we can do only when we know him full, by hearing him. The thoughts are always on Krishna. So every day morning we start our day with chanting. What happens is that chant will be ringing in the mouth. Like morning you switch on the radio, you hear one song. The total day, the same song you will be murmuring. The same song will be running in your mind. Similarly, when we start our day with chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What happens is, we whole day we keep memorizing it. So here Sravanam means Sravanam leads to Smaranam, and Smaranam leads to Savanam. That means when we are chanting, we are saying it, we are Smaranam, and that leads to hearing, and again hearing leads to chanting. Okay. So one devotee can plant the seed of bhakti in another devotee. Previously Krishna talked about bhakti in association with Krishna. It is not by practice also. One should always continue doing practice. We should never think, what am I getting? I'm doing all this, I did not get anything. We'll definitely get. We should have that faith on Krishna. Here the greatest advantage is, whatever we are doing now, it gives happiness to the material body. But if you do Krishna consciousness, if you practice Krishna consciousness, our soul gets satisfied. Okay. And in the last two slokas, Krishna tells how he reciprocates the love we are showing. So he will now keep guiding us to continue our spiritual journey, and he will guide us to the spiritual world. And whatever and we should never forget that whenever we are discussing about Krishna, Krishna also comes and sits there. So we should always be very careful while doing it. So whatever we are doing, Krishna understands it, whether we are doing it with love or as a ritual, because Krishna is bhavagrahi. Krishna is not interested in our activities, but the mood with which we are doing. So that is what it is discussed. And in Sloka 11, Krishna he says that he stays in the hearts of the devotee. He destroys the darkness with the lamp of the knowledge. See, our heart inside, our mind is very dark because we have not put Krishna inside. The moment we put Krishna inside, it gets enlightened. So this is very important. So we should always talk about Krishna, think about Krishna, chant Krishna. And it is not that it is very important to read lot of books and understand. That is not what is important. Because we should only develop faith on Krishna. That is the most important. As we have discussed many times, understanding is not important. Developing faith is important. Like we discussed about the South Indian Brahmin. Once when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring, he saw one Brahmin, old man, sitting and then holding Bhagavad Gita like this, and then he was holding like this, and he was crying. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes and asks him, "Why are you crying? What is that made you cry in the Bhagavad Gita?" He says, "I am a totally illiterate. I can't understand, read anything." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Then what is that is making you cry?" Then he says, "Nothing. The picture on the Bhagavad Gita. See, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is going and sitting, working as a chariot driver to his devotee. How merciful he is. So he is able to see the mercy in the greatness of Krishna. Till now, we have been hearing the story that Krishna worked as a chariot driver to Arjuna, but I never understood what is being working as a chariot driver. That means you have to sit at the foot of the person who is on the chariot, and the person keeps kicking him on the back. Like he wants to go to the right, the person kicks him on the right here with the right leg. If he wants to go to left. If you want to go to straight, on the backbone. Like that. That means Krishna was taking the kicks of Arjuna. See, who will do it? Normally, if our parents do or our children do itself, we don't accept. But there, Krishna being the supreme personality of Godhead, he is accepting all this. That is his mercy towards his devotee. He doesn't hesitate in doing anything for his devotee. So that is what the greatness of Krishna was explained in the Chatur Sloka in the Bhagavad Gita. So now we will start today's. Now we have to go to 12th. Okay. Jitesh, will you read 12th? 12th and 13th together you can. Wait. I have to share the screen. Yeah, you read both, Jitesh.
Padam Brahma, Padam Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purisham Sashvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam,
Voice is
Jamibum, Ahustvam, Rishi Sarveda, Naradas, Tata Asito Devalo Vyasa, Swayam Javya.
You know this sloka by heart. How can you forget such an important sloka? I thought you would close your eyes and read. Huh? Okay, read the meaning.
Translation. Arjuna said, "You are the supreme personality of God, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirmed this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So till now, Krishna was talking about his opulences. Wait. I have not said this. Sorry about this. Okay. So now Arjuna is now asking, what did Arjuna ask? You are the supreme. He agreed. Now he is agreeing. In the second sloka, he said, I am surrendering to you. You please tell me what I have to do. But now he is agreed that you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. These are all the qualities of Krishna. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. So he is agreeing that who will be the greatest person? The person who has created is the greatest person. So he is agreeing that Krishna is the greatest person. And the unborn, he is not born, the original. What the original, the transcendental. And then he's saying, I am not the one who is saying this. All the great people already said this. Now he is only reconfirming. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. So here, even though Arjuna is telling all this, that means Arjuna has understood what Krishna is. For the greatest qualities of Krishna, Arjuna has understood. So here, what is important in this sloka is, see, Krishna has till now talked about his greatness. And Arjuna, like normally when a teacher tells something in the class, he says, he makes one child get up and say, you tell me what I have explained, you repeat it. Then what happens is, they repeat it. When they repeat it, that means the teacher knows whether the child has understood in the same spirit with which he has explained. Similarly, here Arjuna is, even though Krishna has not asked, Arjuna is in turn telling them, in turn telling Krishna that this is what you told about yourself. So this is what I understood about yourself. That means we have to be very clear that this is the spirit with which we all should have faith on Krishna. Some people, lot of people give different versions to Krishna. I mean, like when Krishna has told lot of things about himself, they take different versions. Like when we have all come from Krishna, we are all expansions of Krishna. What people say is that we are also Krishnas, but we have to understand that he is Vibhu and we are Anu. That means he is a great man and we are a very small creature in front of him. That difference should never be forgotten. That is very important. Ultimately, we should understand that quality wise we are same, but quantity wise he is uncomparable. Like if you take a drop of water from the sea, the quality is same. The total ocean will have the same quality what the drop of water I have in my hand will have. But when we see the quantity, where is the comparison? Similarly, we also have all the qualities what Krishna has. But when it comes to the quantity, there is no comparison. So here we have to understand that this is what is Krishna and we are nowhere near him. Okay. Next, who will read the next one? Vishnupriya?
Yes, Mataji. सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवः. Translation. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Yeah. Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. So he is understanding. When we accept that what others have said is truth, when we develop faith on that. So neither the demigods nor the demons, oh Lord, can understand your personality. Like we think that the gods know Krishna more. No. He says nobody can understand your personality. Just excuse me 1 minute. So, in the beginning of this chapter also, Krishna told the same thing, that only devotees can understand me. Because why do they understand? Because they have faith on him. Because we have a lot of faith on Krishna. Whatever Krishna says, without asking any questions, we are understanding. Whereas those who have no faith on Krishna, what they do is they don't accept. They try to analyze what Krishna has told. When they try to analyze what Krishna has told, they will get lot of doubts. Yeah, Rohan. Today I have to read very fast because a lot of slokas are there. Rohan, are you there? Hare Krishna. Okay, Krishna Priya, you read.
Yes, Mataji. Swayam evatmanatmanam etatvam purushotama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Translation. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all living beings, all beings, God of gods, Lords of the universe.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. Why? Because his internal potency is so huge that as human beings with such kind of small mind, we can never understand. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beginning, God of gods, Lord of the universe. He is praising Krishna that he is the ultimate of everything. So we should not take different meanings to what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. We should simply accept what Krishna has said without giving our own understanding and our own meanings. Okay. What happened to this fellows? Yeah, read the next one, Vishnupriya.
वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मा विभूतया याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां स्वां व्याप्य तिष्ठति. Translation. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds.
So again, Arjuna is asking, please tell me in detail. Now he said, I am accepting whatever you have said. And then he also told that it is impossible to understand your greatness, your internal potency. So he's telling, please tell me in detail your divine opulences. That means your greatnesses by which you prevailed in all the worlds. That means we always tell Krishna is present everywhere, in all the worlds, in all the universe, everywhere. Then we get a doubt, how can they, and we are accepting that Krishna is a person. So how can a person be everywhere? Either he is here or there. So that way, but normally this kind of doubts come to us, not to Arjuna. But for our sake, Arjuna is asking and Krishna is explaining. Krishna will explain from now. 17. Next, read. Yeah, read fast, Vishnupriya. We have to complete a lot of
Katam vidyamaham yogim swam sada parichintayam keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavanmaya. Translation. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Yeah. O Krishna, the Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? This is the problem. We think of Krishna. When do we think of Krishna? When we do chanting, we think of that time also we don't think. Our mind keeps going somewhere. And when we do puja, we think of Krishna. And maximum we think of Krishna. When do we think of Krishna? When there is a problem, we think of Krishna. That is when we compulsorily think of Krishna. Otherwise, we keep forgetting him. So he's asking, how do we remember? And how shall I know you? In what forms various forms are you to be remembered? Various things, how do I remember? Oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because remembering in the same form means it is very difficult. So he's asking, how do I remember you in various forms? Yeah, next.
Yes, Mataji. विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूय कथय तृप्तर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्. Translation. O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Yes, and Arjuna is telling, oh Janardana, again please describe, because in 7th chapter and 9th chapter, Krishna has already described about himself. So he is telling, I want to hear about more about your opulences. I'm never satiated by hearing, means like I'll never get bored by hearing you, or enough I have heard about it, like that we'll never feel. For more I hear about you, I want to taste the nectar of your words. When do we taste the nectar of something? When we see something great in it, we can enjoy the nectar of it. We will enjoy more and more. Yes, so here one thing we have to understand, why, see, this is the more and more we hear about it, the more and more we enjoy. The best example is, this also many times we have discussed, like this Bhagavad Gita is not written today. It is been popularly being read from 5,500 years. When Krishna has told this, before that also it was there, but this, like this, in this version it is there. So 5,000 years, is there any other book which is sustaining for more than 100 years? Hardly any book. So like that, but this book is never getting outdated. The more the time passes, the more it is becoming popular. Why? Because the more we read it, the more nectar we get, the more benefit we get, the more enjoyment we get. And we should always never forget that Bhagavad Gita is a manual for life. And it is this, the other books and other movies and other things which are coming are for the entertainment of human beings. But this is for enlightenment of the human beings. Okay. 19.
Yes, Mataji. हन्तते श्रीभगवानुवाच हन्तते कथयिष्यामि दिव्यायात्मविभूतया प्राधान्यता कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यांतो विस्तरस्य मे. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestation, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you my splendid, because Krishna is, without asking itself, he keeps telling us a lot of things. Because Arjuna has asked me, he says, I'll tell you about my opulences, but only those which are prominent, because there are so many, like everywhere there is Krishna, everything there is Krishna. How can he explain everything and everywhere? So he's telling, I will only tell you very few, because my opulences are limitless. Okay, 20.
अहमात्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूतास्य सयास्थित अहम आदिश्च मध्यं च भूतानामन्त एव च. I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all living beings.
I am the super soul. So he's telling, I am the super soul seated in the hearts of all living entities, in the beginning, in the middle, and at the beginning. That means he is the, who is Krishna? He is the beginning. That means he is the creator. And at the end, he is the destroyer. And in the middle, that means he is the maintainer of all the total creation. That's what Krishna is telling here. In the next 19 slokas, Krishna will simply tell about his greatness, where we can see Krishna. Because Archana has asked, tell me about your opulences. So we can go very fast here. He is only telling, see, it is like this. When he gives an example, see me in that, It doesn't mean that Krishna is that. Like he is telling, out of all the demigods, the king Indra, you can see me in that. It doesn't mean that Indra is Krishna. Like in your class, when your class teacher is not there, the monitor of the class monitor comes and takes charge of your class. It does. Then what does it mean? We have to see the instructions of the class teacher in the class monitor. It doesn't mean the class leader or the class monitor is the teacher. Similarly, from now, Krishna is going to tell the greatness of himself in everything, where we should see Krishna. So that means we have to see Krishna in everywhere, and the greatest of everything, the greatest of good, the greatest of bad also we can see Krishna. So that is how he is going to declare about himself. 21.
Adityanam aham Vishnu Jyotisamravir Ansuman Marichir Marutamasmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Translation. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the sun, I am the moon. Among the stars, I am the moon.
And Adityas, of the Adityas, I am the Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And amongst the stars, I am the moon. Like this. Who is Aditya? Aditis. Of the Aditis, I am the Vishnu. Who is this Aditis? Aditi and Kasyapa had how many children? They had 12 children. The first of these children is Vishnu. So he is telling, so that the elder one is supposed to be the better one. So he is telling, I am the Vishnu of the Aditis. That means the children of Aditi. I am the radiant sun. Out of all the stars, the brightest star is Krishna, sun. So he is telling, I am the sun. Of the Marutis, I am the Marichi. And they are also who are these Marutis? They are the Brahma Manasa Putra. That means they have come from the thought of Brahma. So, and out of the stars, I am the moon. We can see the moon glowing bigger than everything. So he is comparing himself with the moon. That means the best of all these things. Best of everything. The simple here, what we have to understand is, he is the best in everything. We have to see him in the best of everything. Yeah. 22nd.
Vedanam Samavedosmi Devanam Asmi Vasavaha Indriyanam Manasasmi Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Translation. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness.
Yeah. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Why he says I am the Samaveda is, it is not that Samaveda, the greatness of Samaveda is, it talks about the prayers, what we can do to God. So, because we are doing the prayers to God, it talks about the prayers to God. That is why Samaveda, Krishna is telling that he is the Samaveda. And the demigods, I am the Indra. Who is Indra? He is the king of all the demigods. So he says, I am the king of all the demigods. The king of the heaven. Indra is the king of the heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. Out of the senses, we have all the senses. You know what are the senses we have. But why he is comparing himself with the mind is because the thought comes in the mind, because of that only our senses react. So the mind is the supreme of all the senses. And in the living beings, I am the living force, the consciousness. Because only when the consciousness is there, the living beings are there. Otherwise, they are not there. 23. Yeah, read the 23.
Rudranam Shankarastasmi Veteshu Raksharaksasam Vasunam Pavakastasmi Meru Shikarinamaham. Translation. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am the fire, and of mountains, I am Meru.
Yeah. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. As we know, Shiva is the greatest next to Lord Krishna. So out of the Rudras, he is Lord Shiva. And Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of wealth, Kubera. We call him Kubera. Kubera is out of all these Rakshasas and Yakshas, who is the best one, who is with a good quality, is Kubera. So he is telling, I am the richest, and I am the head. I am the best of all the Rakshas and Rakshasas. Out of Vasus, Vasu means these Rudras, they were like 11, these Rudras have 11, there are 11 Rudras, and out of what, mean they are the children of Aditi and Kasyapa, and this. And then he is the Rudra is the Shiva is the eldest of that, and above the fire Agni, and out of the mountain Meru, that is the Meru Parvata, means it is the biggest mountain, so he is the Meru. 24.
पुरोदसां च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानि महं सरसामस्मि सागरः. Translation. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of the bodies of water, I am the ocean.
Yes. And here he is telling out of the priest, Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the priest of all the devatas. That means he is the guru of all the devatas. So naturally, devatas will have the best guru. So he is the guru of all the devatas. Of the generals, I am the Kartikeya. Kartikeya is Kumaraswamy, the son of Shiva and Parvati. So he is the Sainyadipati of the Devatas. That means who will be the Sainyadipati? The strongest and the most powerful will be the Sainyadipati. So Kartikeya is the strongest and most powerful of all the Devatas. And of bodies, I am the ocean, which is the biggest body on this earth. It is obviously the ocean. Ocean is the biggest body on this earth. So he says, out of the all the bodies, I am the ocean. Yeah, 25.
महर्षीणां भृगृहं गिरामास्म्येकमक्षरं यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालय.
Of the sages, I am the Bruhu. Bruhu Maharshi. Bruhu is the greatest of all the sages. So he says, see me in Bruhu Maharshi. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. We all know any spiritual mantra we start. Normally we start with Om. Om Namah Shivaya. That way we start. So he says, out of all the sounds, Om, I am the Om. And recently I saw in some WhatsApp that if you record, scientists try to record the sound which is coming from the sun, and the sound that is coming from the sun is Om. That kind of a sound we hear from the sound. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy name Japa. That means sacrifices means yajna, yaga, tapasu, all those things, which is the, see in Bhagavad Gita, sometimes we may get a doubt, why are we doing this chanting? What is this for? Is it really useful? We are not doing any other yajna, yaga, tapasya, nothing we are not doing. We are not doing any this thing. We are simply sitting and chanting. Is what we are doing correct? Is the doubt we get. So here in Bhagavad Gita, this sloka, just when somebody says this, you can very clearly say, in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 10.25, it is very clearly said, I am the chanting of the holy name. That means out of all the sacrifices, the greatest sacrifice is the chanting of the holy name. So chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the highest sacrifice one can do. You need not do anything. Just sit, close your eyes, control your mind, say whatever you are saying, just put your focus, your mind on what is coming out from your mouth and start doing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here is the proof that what we are doing is correct. Out of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Okay. 26. Yeah, next.
अश्वत्थ सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारद गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथ सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः. Translation. Of all the trees I am the banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas I am Chitraratha, and among perfected beings I am the sage Kapila.
Yeah, of all the trees I am the banyan tree. And okay, these are all just, he is saying, see me in the greatest, nothing else. Here he is telling Whatever see, wherever you see me in the greatest. That's all. And demigods, I am the Narada. Gandharvas, he is the Narada, and Chitraratha, and amongst the perfect things, I am the sage Kapila Mahamuni. 27.
Yes, ma'am.
Uchaishravanamashvanam viddhimam vatodavam Airavatam gajendranam naranam chararanam.
Translation. Of horses know me to be Uchaishrava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch.
Yeah, here we all know, no, when the Gandharva, the Rakshasas and the demigods, when they went and did the churning in the milk ocean, first the various things have come. The poison has come and various things have come. Out of which this Uchaishwarya means a horse has come, which is the greatest. Definitely it has come while churning the milk ocean. That means it has to be the greatest. That horse is me. That means in the horses he is Uchaishwarya. And in the same process, this Airavatam, the white elephant, also has come, which is again with Indra. So he says, out of elephants also I am Airavatam. And among men, I am the monarch. Monarch means king. That means the king is supposed to be the greatest of the in the country. That means even now we say who is the most powerful in our country. We say the prime minister, the president. So he says, see me in them. Yeah, 2.8.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayudhanam aham vajram dhenunam asmi kamadhu prajanashchasmi kandarpa sarpanam asmi vasuki.
Translation. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of the serpents, I am Vasuki.
Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. That means what you call this thunderbolt is Vajrayudham, correct. The Vajrayudham. That also, how was that Vajrayudham made? It was prepared from the backbone of a great sage called Dadichi. That means to kill the Rakshasa, they wanted a weapon like that. So when Lord Vishnu instructed them to make a Vajrayudham from the backbone of Dadichi, he himself have offered his backbone. With that, they made the Vajrayudham to kill a demon called Vratasura. So that is how that weapon is made. So he says, I am the thunderbolt, I am the Vajrayudham. Among cows, I am the Surabhi Mata. That means among the cows, the best cow is Surabhi. Of cause of procreation, I am Kandharpa. That means for having, why this process of having children and having children should continue? Because there are many souls in the waiting to take some body and then do some good things and then go back to Krishna. If suppose we die and nobody has children, we won't have another chance of taking a body and our soul will be roaming round and round. So having children is also very important. So for that he says, I am Kandharpa, the god of love and of the god of love. Why this Kandharpa's name is taken is because he is the cause for good children. See, like bad children will be born, good children will be born based on the mindset of the soul. So this Kandharpa is the cause of the good children. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Vasuki is a snake. He says, out of serpents, I am the Vasuki. Okay, 2.9.
Yes, Mataji. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yatasamaham pitranam aryamastasmi yama samyamatamaham. Translation. Of the many hooded nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death.
Of the many hooded nagas, I am the Ananta. Ananta Seshasai, we all know that is where the Krishna relaxes. So that means he is none other than the Balarama and all that, Lakshmana, and then. So he says, I am Ananta, and amongst the aquatics, and the demigod Varuna. He is the rain, whatever we are getting, that is what is the base of the water. So he is Varuna Deva. Of separated ancestors, I am Aryama. And amongst the, I don't, this is, continue. Yeah, he is one of the Pitru Devatas, and amongst the dispensers law, I am Yama, the Lord of Death, because it is Yama after death who takes us to the Yamaloka and decides what the law, what all we have done is correct or wrong, is what is decided by Yama. So he says, I am the God Yama. Yeah, 30.
Yes, Mataji. प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां बालफलेतामहं मृगाणां च मगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्.
Translation. Among the Daitya demigods, I am the
Demons.
devoted Prahlada.
Demons.
Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda.
Yeah, nothing much to explain here. Among the deity demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Because demons are supposed to be bad, the Rakshasas. But in the Rakshasas, Prahlada was born. So he is telling out of the Rakshasas, I am Prahlada. That means the most good person amongst Rakshasas is Prahlada. So he says, see me in Prahlada. Don't think that Rakshasas are bad. You can see Prahlada there. Among subdues, I am time. That means we always talk, this Bhagavad Gita talks about time. That means time is the root cause for everything. Time. This is, I am the time. Among beasts, I am the lion. That means among the dangerous animals, I am the lion. And among birds, I am the Garuda. Garuda is supposed to be the strongest bird. This is, I am the Garuda. 31.
Yes, Mataji. पवतामस्मि रामाशस्त्रतामहं जशानां मकरश्चास्मि श्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी. Translation. Of purifiers I am the wind, of the wielders of weapons I am Rama, of the fishes I am the shark, and of flowing rivers I am river Ganga.
So purifiers of the wind, of the wilderness of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am Ganges. So air purifies everything. So he says, I am the wind who purifies everything. And out of the people who hold weapons, I am Rama. Why Rama? Because Rama does everything and anything only with justice. Only the right thing he does. And out of fishes, I am the shark. And of the flowering rivers, I am Ganges. But here he is addressing Ganges as Jahnavi. Why did he address it as Jahnavi? Is Ganga has another name called Jahnavi, because when Bhagirath brought Ganga from Shiva to this earth, due to her force, it was sweeping away everything, and it just sweeps away the Jahnamuni's ashram also. Then he gets angry, and then with his power, the great river Ganga, he simply swallows it. And then again, when Bhagirath goes and requests, he says he just gives it out from his ear. So because it came out of Jahnamuni's ear, it is called Jahnavi. So that is why Bhagirath is called Jahnavi also. Harshit, would you like to read? Hare Krishna, Harshit. Harshit, are you there? Okay, Ma. Krishna Priya.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
It's not changed, Mataji.
Sorry.
Screen did not change, Mataji.
I've changed 32. I've changed Amma 32.
It's not up.
What?
Did not change for us, Mataji. Not still.
See? 32.
Not yet changed.
For me, 32 is seen.
For us, Pavana Pavanatam, the 31 only.
Sarganamadirantashcha madhyanam chaiva madhyam chaivaham arjuna
Adhyatma Vaidya
Vidyana
Vidyana Translation.
Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end and also the middle of Arjuna. Middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among the logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Yeah. So of all creations, I am the beginning. This we have already discussed today also. I am the beginning because he is the creator. He is, and he has no origin, and he exists always. He is the beginning, and also because he is the destroyer, and also the middle. That means he is the maintainer. O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science because that is the highest science. Any science is based on that only, of the self. And amongst the logicians, I am the conclusive truth. That means people keep on discussing lot of logic. If this is like this could be this. This is like this could be this. But finally, somebody wins. So he says, I am that logic which has finally won. Yeah, 33.
Yes, ma'am.
Aksharaanamakārosmi bandhasamasi kasya cha aham evakshyam kalo rataham vishvatomukha. Translation. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the real compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma.
Yeah. Of letters, I am the letter A, the first letter, because all letters carry equal the importance, but it starts with A. So he is the starting, he is the origin. So it starts with A. Among the compound words, I am the jewel compound. All of you know what are compound words? No, Sandhi. That means when we talk two words, they just merge into one word. Like, you know what are at least in our Indian languages we have, in English we may not have, but these compound words we have in all our Indian languages. Out of the compound words, I am the jewel compound. That means one compound word mixing to form a jewel compound word. And I am the exhaustible time. He is the time and creator, and of the creators, who is there are many creators. Of the creators, I am the Brahma. That's what he says.
Aksharanam Akarosmi
We have finished now, right? Mr. Mrityu.
Mrityu Sarvaharashaham Udbhavasya Bhavishyatam Kete Shrivyakcha Narinam Smritir Medadadikshama. Translation. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, finish, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience.
Yeah, I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. He's clearly saying that I am the one who is the death, the cause of the death, and generating principle, and the reason for recreation, the generating principle again and again. I am the one. And amongst women, I am the fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Why he is talking about women is, these are the special qualities of a woman. So when we say women have got these special qualities, he's saying those qualities are me. He's not saying mine. He's telling I am in those good qualities.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Brihat Tata Samam Gayatri Chanda Samam Manasanam Margashishoham Rutunam Kusumakara.
Of hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha, November, December, and of season, I am flower bearing spring.
He's telling what we talked about the Samaveda. So he's telling I'm in the Samaveda, and out of the auspicious mantras, he says I am the Gayatri. And out of the months, he is Margasira. That means the November and December, which is a very beautiful months. And out of all the seasons, I am the flowering season, because flowering is most important. It is most beautiful. Only because of flowers the seeds will come. Only that is where the nature spreads more and more. So the flowering season is the most important. So he is the flowering season. Yeah, 36.
द्यूतं चलतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनाहं जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि सत्त्वं सत्त्ववतामहं. Translation: I am also the gambling of chiefs and of the splendid. I am the splendor. I am victory. I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong.
Yeah. I'm also the gambling. I mean, like he till now he said what good he is. Now he's telling in cheats also I'm the best cheat. In gambling, that means while gambling, he is the best gambler. And splendid, I am in the splendor. That means 36. That means splendid means out of the the greatness, the effulgence, what is there? I am the greatest effulgence. And in the victory, I am the most victorious. And out of the adventure and the strength of all the strong. Many people will think I am very strong, I am very great. My strength is very high. But we should understand that the reason for the strength, the strength about which we feel very proud is nothing else but Krishna. As long as Krishna is with us, we'll have the strength. If Krishna is not there, the strength will simply go. We are able to see so many people happily walking around and suddenly fall down and die. Why? Because the Krishna has left here. So simple. Yeah, 37.
वृष्णीनां वासुदेवोऽस्मि पाण्डवानां धनञ्जय मुनीनामप्यहं वासुदेवः. Translation: Of the descendants of Vishnu, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Usain.
Yeah. So he's telling, I am Krishna is born in the Vrishti Vamsa. So he's telling, in the Vrishti Vamsa, I am the great. Obviously, Krishna has to be the great. So he's telling, in that Vrishti Vamsa, I am the great. And amongst Pandavas, Arjuna is the great. That's why Krishna is more associated with Arjuna. And amongst the sages, Vyasa Maharshi, we know he is the one who has written all the scriptures. So he is the greatest. And out of all the thinkers, I am Ursana, that is Sukracharya. Sukracharya is the demon god. Bruhaspati is the guru for Devatas, and Sukracharya is the guru for Rakshasas. But he is a very intelligent man, and he can think very well.
दन्तोदमयतामस्मि नितिरस्मि जिकीर्षितां मौनं चैवास्मि ज्ञानं ज्ञानमतामहम्. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom.
Yeah. Amongst all means of suppressing lawless and the punishment. See, a lot of punishments are being given to control the lawless. So he's telling, I am the punishment. And of those who seek victory, I am the morality. Of secret things, I am the silence. When there are a lot of secrets, what is meant by secret? Something which we should not share with others. That means silence. That means he is the silence. Of all the wise, I am the wisdom. How will somebody become wise? Only when he has wisdom, they will become wise. So he says, I am the wise of all the wisdom. Yeah, 39.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदमर्जुन तदस्ति विना यस्यात् मया भूतं चराचरं. Translation: Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of the existences. There is no being, moving or non-doing that can exist without.
Yeah. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am generating seed of all the existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. We all know, no, as long as the super soul, the Krishna resides in us only, in a living being, the consciousness is there and they exist. The moment the soul, Krishna leaves us, we are all dead. So we become immovable. I mean, like a lifeless thing. That is what he is telling. Oh, Arjuna, I am the seed giving of all the existence. That means, how will a new plant come from a seed? So the starting point of a plant is tree. seed. So he's telling, I am the seed of all the living beings. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. If Krishna is not there, even a tree, a seed won't become a plant. So only if Krishna is there, it becomes. So he says, I am the one who is there in a living or non-living, who is, otherwise it becomes a non-living. So this is the last sloka out of the 19 slokas, which explained about the greatness, where we can see Krishna. These are one. And so there the explanation is ended. So now the 40th sloka.
Yes, Krishna. नाथोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां तत्परन्तप येषां तेषुतां प्रोक्ता विभूतिर्वितस्तु मया. Translation. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite operation.
Yeah. O mighty conqueror of enemies. Now after explaining about himself, he says, O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. That means what he has explained, which we have discussed in half an hour, is nothing. We all know that this is really nothing. So there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my initiative opulence. That means very, very, very little I have shown you. There is no, like if you start understanding, reading all this and understanding all this, we won't even have time to apply all that. So he says, what all I have told is only very small. Yeah, 41. Yeah, these two are gone. Where are they? So here in 41 sloka, he is telling, know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but the spark of my splendor. So Krishna is very clearly explaining that anything that is beautiful, anything that is majestic or powerful, yeah, is just a spark of my splendor. So how we have to take is, we should not take that, what all he said, that is all Krishna is. It is
just us both.
Yeah, it's okay. The last two one will conclude the chapter.
Okay,
We need to struggle to present something great, just a spark. So that means we need not show everything. For example, a great rich man can give away huge amount, which is surprising to us. But for that great man, it is just a spark. So similarly, Krishna is also limitless. So what all he is giving us is very small. And in the 42nd chapter, 42nd sloka, he says, but what need is there, Arjuna, for all the detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. He says, you need not know about all this. Where is the need for you to know all this? Just my fragments, my smell of myself, pervade everywhere and support the entire universe. Like we should not, without having this knowledge, if you try to acquire knowledge and think that this is what it is, we should not think like that, like a frog in the well. It thinks this is all, the well itself is the total creation. It is not that. It is much more. We should understand. That's what Krishna is telling, that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. Here we end the opulence of Krishna. So we end the opulence of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I am stopping.